If you can, please download the PDF file on the description below so you can work with me. First one. Now to solve this by using completing the square, so we need to have the coefficient of x always, okay? So half of 4 is 2. So this means that x plus 2, and then we square it. Now, let's think about it. If we expand this out, let's say x plus 2 all square. So that is equal x plus 2 and x plus 2, right? And then we expand this out. So x times x is give me x squared. X times 2 is 2x. And then 2 times x again plus 2x. And then 2 times 2 is 2 squared, right? Which is 4. So this, to simplify this give me x squared plus 4x and plus 4. So this is x plus 2 all square. So now, if I minus 4 on this side, and I minus 4 on this side, so this balance it out, so this cancel out. So you can see that x squared plus 4x is equal to x plus 2 all square minus 4. So this one here, it will be equal to x plus 2 all square minus 4. So now this is equal. So this is what's that meant. And then the negative 1, I just write minus 1 out. And then equal to 0. So now minus 1 minus 4 is minus 5. So I just write this out. So x plus 2 all square minus 5 is equal to 0. I move the 5 on that side. So that means x plus 2 all square is equal to 5. So now if I square root both sides, this means that x plus 2 is equal to, now every time I square root a number, I should have a plus or a minus. So this becomes plus or minus 5. So if I move the 2 on that side, so this means that x is equal to negative 2 plus or minus square root of 5. Now this can be written as x is equal to negative 2 minus root 5, or x equal negative 2 plus root 5. Okay, this is the same. This answer is in exact form or third form if you like. Next one. So x squared minus 5x plus 1 is equal to 0. So step number 1, of course, I need to halve the coefficient of x. So half of negative 5 is negative 2.5. But we don't write like that. So we write in fractions, so easier. So minus 5 over 2 and all square. Now remember, if you expand this out, let me try this again. So hopefully you can see the pattern. So square up this. Now, so this is equal to x minus 5 over 2 times by x minus 5 over 2 again. Now to do this, all you need to do, you to expand this out, give me x squared and then minus 5 over 2x and times that minus 5 over 2 again. So this give me minus 5x. And then this time together is plus, like this if you like. So this is 5, negative times negative positive. So that's what that meant. So this is exactly the same as 25 over 4. So squared up the 5 over 2 all square. So if you think about it, every time you expand this perfect square out, it's always give you up to here. And with the 5 over 2 square extra. So therefore I need to minus that out. So minus 5 over 2 all square, which is 25 over 4. So I just write this out, 25 over 4. So this plus 1, I just write this down, add 1, which is equal to 0. So now x minus 5 over 2 all square minus, so to simplify this, so I just write that's the same as 1 minus 25 over 4. So that's the same as 4 minus 25 over 4, which is negative 21 over 4 if you like. Or otherwise, just use your calculator. So 21 over 4 is equal to 0. So I move this on this side. So that means x minus 5 over 2 all squared is equal to 21 over 4. So now if I square root both sides, x minus 5 over 2 is equal to square root. So every time square root, you have a plus or a minus. Square root of 21, I can simplify. And square root 4 is equal to 2. Then I move the negative 5 over 2 on this side. So therefore x equal to 5 over 2 plus minus square root of 21 over 2. So this is the same as 5 plus minus square root of 21 over 2. Next one. So y squared is equal to y plus 5. So first of all, we make the equation equal to 0 first. So I move this on this side, I move this on that side. So this means that y squared minus y minus 5 is equal to 0. Now remember, we need to halve the coefficient of y. So in front of y is no numbers, that means it's 1 there. So that means negative 1. So half of negative 1 is negative a half. And then don't forget you square it. So if you expand this out, give you up to here with a quarter extra. So therefore a minus 1 over 2 all square. So that means a quarter. Okay, so because 1 over 2 all square is 1 times 1 is 1, 2 times 2 is 4. So therefore we need to minus that out. So minus a quarter. And then the 5, I just write it down. So minus 5 there, which is equal to 0. Now, to simplify, I simply just use calculator. So I can just write minus 1 over 4. Okay, and then a minus 5. So that equals negative 21 over 4. So I just write this down. So that means y minus a half all squared. So 21 over 4, which is equal to 0. And then I move this on this side. So this means that y minus a half all squared is equal to 21 over 4. Then I square root both sides. So this means that y minus a half is equal to square root of 21 over 4. So this is, of course, you have to put a plus or minus. So remember, square root of 21 over 4 is equal to square root of 21 over square root of 4. So square root of 21, I can't do much. So I just write this down. And square root 4 is 2. So now I move the half over. So which is y is equal to a half plus minus square root of 21 over 2, which is the same as 1 plus minus 21 square root over 2. Now because I've run out of space, so I need to clear out all these answers. Next one. So to solve this, we need to first expand the bracket first, and then I move the 5 over this side. So this becomes x squared plus 7x, and then the 5 move over, become minus 5 is equal to 0. And remember, we need to halve the coefficient of x. So half of 7, please do not write 3.5. So you write 7 over 2, so you can do in your head without calculator, easier. So plus 7 over 2 all square. Now, if you expand this out, the bracket, so it gives you up to here. So with the 7 over 2 x squared extra. So that means we need to minus that out like this. Just 7 over 2 all square. So that is 49 over 4. So I just minus 49 over 4. And then the minus 5, I just write this down. That's give me 0. Now I choose your calculator to just add this in. Otherwise, you can just do in your head. So 4 times 5 is 20. Add 49 is 69. So negative 69 over 4. So you can always use calculator, no drama, as long as you know the process. Okay, so minus 69 over 4, which is equal to 0. Then I move this on the side. So this means that x plus 7 over 2 all square is equal to 69 over 4. So now I square root both sides. So I just write the answer here. X plus 7 over 2 is equal to plus or minus square root of 69 over square root of 4, which is 2. Then I just move this 7 over 2 on this side. So x equal negative 7 over 2 plus minus square root of 69 over 2. So you can write that as in one term, so which is equal to negative 7 plus minus square root of 69 all over 2. Please stop the video and try this one yourself. First one. So first of all, we need to halve the coefficient of x first. So that is 8. So half of 8 is 4. So this means x plus 4. All square. Now if you expand this out, it gives exactly up to here with the 4 square extra. So which is 4 square is 16. So minus it out. Now these are the same. And then the plus 5, I just write underneath. So add 5, which is equal to 0. So minus 16 plus 5 is minus 11. So x plus 4 all square minus 11 is equal to 0. So I move the minus 11 on that side. So x plus 4 all square is equal to 11. So if I square root both sides, so the square disappears. So which is 4x plus 4 equal to plus or minus. Of course, every time you square root a number, you have a positive or negative. So which is 11. Then I move the 4 on that side, on the right hand side, so it becomes negative. So therefore, x equal to negative 4 plus or minus square root of 11. There you go. Next one. So x squared is equal to 9x plus 6. So I move on one side, so make the equation equal 0 first. So that become minus 9x minus 6 is equal to 0. And of course, we need to halve the coefficient of x, which is 9. So write 9 over 2, okay? So it's easier, so you can do in your head with fractions. So 9 over 2 when you square it. So when you expand this out, okay, it gives you all the way up to here with the 9 over 2 square extra. So 9 over 2 all square is 81 over 4. But we minus it out, so balance it. So 81 over 4. Now, these are the same. So now the minus 6, I just write this down. So minus 6 equal to 0. So now we just simplified 81 over 4 and then 6. So we just add them up. Or just write minus on both sides like this if you like. So this one here is equal to minus 81 minus 6 times 4 is 24 over 4. So it's 105, right? Minus 105 over 4. Otherwise, you just use your calculator. Just put that in your calculator. That's all you need to do. So I write it out. So x minus 9 over 2 all square minus 105 over 4, which is equal to 0. So now I move the negative 105 over 4 on the other side. So this gives me x minus 9 over 2 all square is equal to 105 over 4. Now if I square root both sides, so that's become x minus 9 over 2, which equal to plus or minus square root of 105 is 105 square root, and then square root 4 is 2. So I move this on this side. So therefore, x is equal to 9 plus minus 105 square root, of course. So plus or minus 105 square root of that all over 2. That's the answer. Next one. So step number 1, of course, we need to make the whole equation equal 0 first. So that becomes x squared minus x minus 9 is equal to 0. Now we have the coefficient of x, so no number in front of x, that means 1. Okay, 1 times x is x, that's why. So half of 1 is a half, of course. So x minus a half, all square. Now, if you expand this out, it gives you exactly up to here with the half square extra. So half square is 1 over 4 because a half square is 1 square is 1 over 2 times 1 over 2 if you like. So 1 times 1 is 1, 2 times 2 is 4. Otherwise, you can just use calculator. So minus that out. So now this is the same as this. Okay, they are the same. Minus 9, we just write it down. And is equal to 0. Now you just simplify. So that becomes x minus a half all square minus, so 4 times 9 is 36 at 137. So this is same as 37 over 4 is equal to 0. So now I move this on this side. So this means that x minus 1 over 2 all square is equal to 37 over 4. So if I square root both sides, I just write up here because I run out of space. So this means that x minus a half, so which is equal to plus or minus square root of 37 over square root 4, which is 2. So therefore, x is equal to 1 plus minus square root of 37 over 2. Last one. Now to solve this, we first need to expand the bracket first, and then we move the 8 on that side. So the equation becomes 0. So x times x, so I just write here, so x times x is x squared. And then x times 5 is 5x. And then the 8 I move on this side, become minus 8. So is equal to 0. So now we need to halve the coefficient of x, which is half of 5. So which is x plus 5 over 2. Write in fractional forms is easier. So square, now if I expand this out, it's give me all the way up to here with the 5 over 2 square extra. So therefore I need to minus that out. So minus 5 over 2 all square. So that is 25 over 4. So I just write 25 over 4. And the minus 8, I just write this down. So that becomes 0. So this will give me x plus 5 over 2 all square minus 57 over 4, which is equal to 0. So if I move this on that side, so it will give me x plus 5 over 2 all square equal 57 over 4. So if I square root both sides, so x plus 5 over 2, which give me plus or minus, so which is square root of 57 over square root of 4, which is 2. So I move this on the side, of course, that becomes negative. So therefore, x is equal to negative 5 plus minus square root of 57 over 2. That's it. Thank you so much for watching.